What's good, Wagering World? It's your boy Five Star in Vegas, broadcasting live as always from beautiful Summerlin, Nevada. And here with my co-host, my guy, the only Sacramento Kings fan that I know. What's good, Spread Astaire? How are you this morning?
Man, I'm doing great. I can't wait to talk about NBA basketball with you. Injuries have put a pall over some of these series, but my Sacramento Kings have been in an exciting series. And hey, it's tough to lose, but it's just exciting to be a part of some of the best basketball being played right now. So can't wait to talk to you. We haven't talked at all. So, the listeners are just going to hear, our thoughts live on the air first time, talking to each other. What did you think of this weekend?
I thought it was outstanding. Everything was outstanding, man. You guys are in the best series in the NBA right now. Let's get to the past. Let's
All right,
chop it up
we'll
about
go
those.
straight through. Yes, Curtis Schoon comes on Friday. Pretty much tells you how the fight is going to go. I mean, boy, if you want to watch Save $80, just listen to his breakdown, right? And you already got an idea of what's going to happen. And what he talked about came home to light. It felt, as soon as Garcia felt those body shots, reminiscent of Bernard Hopkins knocking out Oscar De La Hoya.
Yep.
All right. Another good-looking, Mexican-American fighter who went against a guy that's a little bigger, a little bit tougher, and a little more seasoned. Now, De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins went on to form a very successful boxing promotion company together. I don't know if Tank and Ryan Garcia are going to be able to do that.
Maybe.
But yeah, that's how it turned out. Tank was the better fighter. And I guess the only thing disappointing is for a super fight, right? It was fairly predictable. Now it's great for our bank accounts, but for the sport of boxing, it's like that's the biggest fight of the year. It felt like a warm-up fight for Tank.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable buzz in the city, man. I haven't seen a crowd like this down here for a fight in a while, man. Most of the last fights that went on have been kind of, so more fighting community. This was one of the few mega fights that we've seen since, Floyd Mayweather's fights. It was that type of environment. And I guess, like you said, Bernard Hopkins and De La Hoya got together because De La Hoya said if you can't beat them, join them. But Bernard Hopkins, when I saw Tank go crazy on him for touching him on in the way in, I saw, yeah, Tank is locked in. He's about to smash this boy. So that upped the ante. And as you said, Big Schoon was right on point. He told us exactly what was going to happen. We got kind of like a controversial ending to a movie. You don't know which way it can go. Either they're going to do a rematch between Garcia and him, or Garcia might walk away, but he has a great out with the way that the fight ended, with just taking a knee and, still kind of like so much unsaid, so much unanswered. As I told you, the best thing I saw in the ring that night was the Amiri shorts and the Amiri robe that Garcia had on. Besides that, the fight wasn't that interesting. I had a close friend who's just moved out here. A little party for the fight, and we had a good time over there. Great view of Las Vegas, one of the better views you're going to see up in Henderson. So we had a good time, more partying at the house than we did watching the fight. But we were able to cash the under 7.5 at plus 180 as we predicted, and we also were able to cash the Javante Davis win by knockout. We also were able to cash him winning the fight at minus 240. It went all the way down to minus 190. So you were correct. The Mexican American money did come in late on the kid Garcia, and I saw Garcia and Tank hanging pretty tough after the fight and chopping it up, exchanging numbers. So maybe they will do what Bernard and De La Hoya did, because as I tell people all the time, these athletes are paid to perform, not to win.
All right. Well, it's good for us that we're able to read the market like this and get a nice, easy cash. Maybe the biggest boxing event of the year. Let's see if Tyson Fury comes back. Let's head on over to. You'll have to remind me. Is the Houston Gamblers the XFL or the USFL? I'll be honest. I just play these bets and I don't even follow them. Like baseball.
Yeah, I'm glad you cashed them.
I play the bets and I literally don't even look at them.
The Gamblers are USFL.
watch these games, or did you just do what I
Yeah,
do
I
and
watched all. Hell yeah, I watched them. I had all that money on them. Of course, I watched them.
all right, you're a better man than me. Tell me what happened there.
Okay, so the Houston Gamblers covered the first half. Very close game at the beginning, as I told you. Uh, they have a quarterback over at New Orleans, McLeod, McLeod, Bethel. I forgot the guy's whole name. He has a long name. He's been bounced around the league, and then he went to the CFL and won the championship. I told you he started slow. We got a little goal line stop at the beginning of the game to end up, where we were able to still cover. They were down 10-3, and they went and got a touchdown right before the half to lock us in. So we were able to win that one first half with the Gamblers, and then after that, we also had the DC Defenders first half. They were up like 20 at first half, pulled up off the break, and then almost let the Browns come back for the game. But we only had the first half, so the Defenders won that one by multiple touchdowns. The only one that we lost was Philly. And that one really broke my heart because that's the one I bet the biggest. I was just sure they were going to beat the Panthers. Philly is the best team in USFL, but they did not look like it last night. It was raining. Just an unfortunate situation. And we always talk about bad bet, a bad beat, and this time it was just a bad beat, because the reason why is it was the right pick that we made. It's just it started raining and that disrupted their whole offense. It just started pouring down raining and they couldn't. They're a throwing team. They pass every down. They don't have much of a running attack, but they're known for airing it out. And their quarterback could not get comfortable in that rain. So we lost that one, but we did go 2-1 on the Ball and Parlay. We can never be mad about that. So let's get to the basketball now in the past.
All right, let us continue. We're going to break down these NBA playoff series. Let's start with the Knicks. That was my best pick of the day yesterday. I got that game correctly as I had the Knicks at home and the under. Rest of the day didn't go so well for me, but it was nice to get off to a hot start. I mean, we've said it before. We'll say it again. Jalen Brunson, best player on the floor. Once again, that was evident. Mitchell Robinson, most underrated, although as we keep talking about him, and we're not the only ones, I see him getting a lot of credit in the national media as well. The most underrated player going into the series, maybe he'll be properly rated after he continues to put up big performances. And these are the lowest scoring games, right? This is some 1990s basketball there when the Knicks were taking on the Cavaliers. What did you see?
What we knew was going to happen. You remember when we first previewed these playoffs and we all spoke, me, you, and Ski, and I told you that the Knicks were going to beat the Cavs, and I told you that Mitchell Robinson was going to give their big men problems. The Cavs live off of having an advantage down low most nights with their duo that they have down low. Their two 7-footers. They don't have that advantage against the Knicks. Mitchell Robinson does a great job of controlling the boards against those guys and making life very difficult on them. And now it boils down to, can Donovan Mitchell put on his Superman cape and save the day? And with the way that the Knicks play perimeter defense, shooting out of those tall, long wings, especially R.J. Barrett at him, who's a very competitive, very strong, agile defender. Um, Cavs can get ready to go 1-2-3 Cancun. They may go home next game, but for sure, I think the Knicks wrap it up in Game 6. I don't think that Brunson lets those people get out of there. He's feeling it himself right now. I'm liking everything that Brunson's doing right now. He's taking on the leadership role for the team and doing everything that I thought he would do with New York. And Tom Thibodeau is made for the playoffs. He's always been a half court defensive guy, and they're just locking up the Cavs, man. And I expect big things from the Knicks. And next round, they either get the Heat or the Bucks, and either one of them that they play, they better be prepared because the Knicks are going to come in with a good game plan and playing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, Knicks are looking good. Great call there. The next one, my Kings
Yeah,
covered the spread
thanks to
against the
Steph.
Warriors. Yeah. Unfortunately, I played the under. This game went way over. It was 66-60 at halftime. I said, probably in trouble. And it was a great game overall. My main, and it's tough to get these guys in the moment. And although I was disappointed he didn't walk it back after when asked about it in the post game, I wish Mike Brown would have just let Fox run. When we're down by one, They missed the
Yeah.
shot, and he calls timeout, and he runs the ATO with Fox, who had to catch the ball in back court, right? Not a lot of time to set up a proper offensive play. This team has been fast all year. I think I really wish he would have just trusted his leader. At the same time, it's a fairly good shot, although I hate shooting a three when you're down by one. But he did get an open shot. He also, did you see that Harrison Barnes talked about that wasn't the play? He actually
No.
freelanced to set that pick. Maybe if they ran the play that Mike Brown ran, I wouldn't be so critical of his coaching, right? Because as good as Draymond is, that's probably his biggest kryptonite, right? It's going to be either a real big center like Embiid or Jokic or a super fast guard, right? The extremes, as he's that wing style forward. Hey, like I said, happy to be here, happy to be involved in an exciting game and have our guys show out. Obviously, wasn't the ending that I liked, but I got to be proud of these guys. And hey, I'd say it's a coin flip series going back home. We have the home court advantage. They have the championship experience and the coaching experience. But hey, nothing to be down about here in Sacramento. What'd you think?
I think you guys are the third seed, so you guys are right where you're supposed to be at. I think you guys are going home, just defend home. The Warriors have been a terrible team on the road all year, so you guys should win this series. Take the championship label off and all of that stuff. We clearly can see that the Warriors are not the same team that they were when they got hot last year. As you pointed out to me, and I'm really seeing now, Poole is hurt. Poole was a major, major cog in them being able to make that run last year because when they could sit down Steph, they still had someone who could bring Steph like playmaking. And now they do not have that. And as we both know, the reserves play best home, not on the road. And you guys are going back home, and I'm sure your reserves that are really deep. You guys have one of the deepest, most talented benches in the league. I'm sure that we see Davion Mitchell step up. He's been doing a great job harassing Steph and making some shots. I expect Monk to step up. He's been doing a consistent job of being a really good six man off the bench. And I expect Keegan Murray to get more minutes now that he's showed what he could do last game when Mike Brown played him a little bit more minutes and clutch moments. He showed that he's a clutch player. I was high on him coming out of Iowa. I've always liked Keegan Murray, man. And I just think that you guys are set up for real success in the future. I'm so happy that the nation is starting to know now about the Aaron Fox and the Sacramento Kings because you guys have a wonderful basketball team. I hope they can keep that squad together. And you no longer will be the only Sacramento Kings fan that I know soon.
Yeah, I love it,
Yeah,
right? Because we do play a
yeah,
popular brand of basketball,
yeah,
and I can especially see the way that we're playing right now, just like in 2002. If you're just a 6 or 7 year old, right, and you're choosing your
yeah.
favorite team, maybe you want to be different than your dad. That's kind of how I was. Like, I
Right,
want to choose a
right,
different team, right? That makes me my own
right.
person. You might
Yeah,
watch them and say, hey, I like them. Fox has that Curry factor where he looks young. So if
yeah.
you're a kid, right? I mean, I think that's the reason Curry looks so popular. He
Mm,
looks like a
yeah.
kid beating up
And
grown
Fox looks
men,
like a
right?
baby. He
Yeah,
likes a baby,
same
but
thing.
he's
I mean,
only like 25, 26 anyway. Yeah,
he seriously, if
yeah,
he could pass for 21, I mean, if he
yeah. He can
wasn't in
pass
the NBA,
21.
he'd probably getting carded still, like everywhere he
Yeah,
goes.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun there, and we'll see how that series
You
turns
know,
out.
you already have one fan transformed. Since the Rockets are in the playoffs, Ian's rooting with you. Ian's a diehard Kings fan. He
That's
said, "Yeah,
good.
I'm going with spread." Every
I
game,
love it.
he's like, I can't stand this Draymond guy. Let's go, Fox. He wants a Fox jersey. So I said, Fox is from Houston, right? And he was like, yeah, I want his jersey. So I'm going to get him order him a Fox jersey, the Black Kings jersey.
All right, I love to
Yeah.
hear that. Let's
Yes,
keep the good
sir.
times rolling. A series that is pretty much over. The Celtics covered against the Hawks.
Yeah.
Another disappointing pick by myself, where I thought that the Hawks could keep this game close. That wasn't the case at all. I mean, I think they cut it to 4 in the fourth at one point. Is
They only
95 to
lost by
91.
8. They 1 point. They almost covered. I had
Yeah,
them too. Yeah.
but did you feel? I didn't feel like
It
we were going to
wasn't
cover the
close.
whole
Nah, it
time.
wasn't close. Yeah.
I felt like I made a mistake. Regardless, the Celtics are arguably the best team in the East, especially if Milwaukee's not 100% healthy. And Atlanta, they shut the lights out to get here. They're probably playing a little bit above their level. It's going to be a huge spread tomorrow night. I think it's 11.5 in Boston for them
Yeah.
to finish it off. Um, Hawks have some work to do, but they are going against the best team in the NBA, arguably, right now. So I don't know. I didn't have much to say. I felt like I was on the wrong side, and DeJounte Murray might be kicked out of the next game. I don't really know how that's going to go. Um,
Yeah.
what did you see in that game? Disappointing performance by Atlanta.
I took the Celtics first half -3.5, easy win, and
Yeah,
then I took the Hawks for the game +7, so I ended up
yeah.
losing that one. But I knew the Celtics would come out really motivated after the showing from last game. They did. They were trying to put their foot down and show that they're the best team in the East. The Hawks just don't match up well with them, as we said before. Um, Hawks have a lot of retooling to do. I don't like Sadiq Bey at all. You know, I've always told you even when he was with
That's
Detroit.
so funny. We're opposite on that. I think he's
He
a.
shoots way too much and never makes anything.
Yeah, I've seen him play
He
well.
shoots
I
too
know he
much,
did.
man.
Yeah.
I watched him
All
since
right.
Villanova. He's not.
Mhm.
He shoots too much.
Yeah.
Someone needs to tell him to go into. He needs to only shoot from the corner 3, 4 times a game from Bruce Bowen role. You know that type of role where play defense, man, and shoot the ball. Stop thinking that you're a scorer. He shoots way too much, man. He's shooting a really low percentage from the 3 point line, and when he comes in with the reserves, he's steadily firing the ball up. When Bogdanovich should be their number one option when they go to the second team. They got to get their rotation together for one thing because they're really talented. I think that they might do a reset, man. I would not be surprised if the Hawks get rid of Capella in the offseason and go with the young boy from USC that you
Right.
like. What's the name? Abuana? How do you say his name?
Onyeka
Oh,
Okongwu.
Okonwu. Yeah, they probably
Yeah.
go with Okonwu and put Capella would be a nice piece for a contender. So Capella is probably going to be out of there. We're going to see if they're going to move Trey. You know, do they move Trey Young and give the team to DeJounte Murray? Because DeJounte has looked a little bit more sound running the offense that they're going to run with their new coach, with Snyder. Snyder seems more in tune actually with DeJounte Murray than he does just communicating on the sidelines and everything. It seems like him and Murray are more in tune than he and Trey are. So do they move Trey because of the coaching decision, or do they adapt the team to Trey and DeJounte Murray, or do they turn it over to DeJounte Murray, make it his show, and put shooters around him and defensive players? Because I think that um, even though that those two guys both are talented enough to play with each other, it's kind of like the Cavs situation. Who's going to play defense? They're too little. You know, you can only have one of those little guys in the backcourt, no matter how explosive that they are. The Golden State Warriors way, but high Curry, but Curry also plays good defense, help defense. You know, Trey does too a little bit, but you can take Trey to the post a little bit more than you can Steph. So I'll be interested to see what happens, but I know some changes are going to happen in Atlanta with them having a new coach and what's going on there. So that series is over, like you said. It's more just looking to the future for what the Hawks are going to do and what the Celtics are about to do down the road. Because unlike most prognosticators, I think that the Sixers might beat the Celtics next round if Embiid
Wow.
gets
Yeah,
healthy.
you're on an
I
island there as
Yeah, I
far
think the
as
Sixers can beat
yeah.
them. I think the Sixers
Um.
is. I think this is their year.
One well, one issue is Doc said he don't even know if Embiid will be ready for game one. So um,
Yeah.
it's happened
No
before,
Embiid,
right?
they're in trouble. But if they
Yeah.
have Embiid, I think that the Sixers have the
I,
manpower.
yeah.
I don't think the Celtics are as dominant as they seem.
All right. Interesting, because you were higher on the Celtics than I was last year. Now maybe you're
Yeah,
gonna
last year.
swerve
This
right.
year I'm
Now
a
I think
little
you're
bit.
gonna you
Yeah,
might swerve
last
right
year.
again and be ahead of the curve with the
Yeah.
76ers. T-Wolves beat the Nuggets. Whoop de doo. That was a pride game. Great. I mean, seriously, great for the Timberwolves for showing pride.
Yeah.
And you just saw that the Nuggets said, "Up, hey, great job, guys. We'll see you back in Denver." They didn't really need to dig deep for there, right? It was
I
to
think
me.
the Nuggets gave effort though. They gave a lot of
I
effort. Cause
did
think
too,
about
but
it.
to
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
it was the epitome of the gentleman's sweep, right? Where
Right.
we're not going to make any adjustments. We're just going to run around. It didn't really feel like they had that do or die attitude, right? Like the Kings Warriors, right? It felt like
Yeah.
everything was on the line for both teams. In this game, it felt like the epitome of the gentleman's sweep. Nuggets are favored by like 10 in game 5, right? It just So give
If
you an
they're
idea of
favored
what.
by 10, I like the T Wolves.
Okay, well,
By
let me
10,
see.
yeah,
Let me confirm that. I looked at the numbers
yeah,
earlier this morning, and I swear that's what I saw because I was like, oh, I might have the whole evening. Oh, wait, they're -9. Excuse me, -9.
yeah. That's a good
The
number. That's a
closest
good
game
number.
tomorrow night. We also have
Yeah,
a
that's
-11.5 and a -12.5. But uh, we gotta finish this one off. Did you really have any thoughts there about the T Wolves?
nothing. Before the game, Ant said that the series wasn't over. They weren't getting swept. Shout out to Ant for having pride, getting his team to play hard. He
Yep.
played hard. That's the things. Those are those traits I talk about that I like about him. You know, he's a leader and he gets the best out of his guys. But the Nuggets could have easily laid it down. They were down 12 with 2 minutes left, and they still got the game to overtime. So they gave some effort. You know, we
Yeah.
wouldn't have got to overtime if it wasn't for that. But as you said, the series shouldn't
Wait,
end
wait,
this
wait.
game.
That game went to overtime? I turned it
You didn't
off.
know? Yeah,
Bro,
that's
I
why you're
turned it
saying
off
that.
with 3 minutes to go.
That's why you're saying that. They were down 12 with they went on a 12-0 with like a
No,
minute
no.
30 left.
This is literally news to me. I turned that tip off with 2 minutes ago. I'm watching this cool show. I said, oh, time for my show.
That's why it's like, no, they tried. They ran it down 12 points. It was a 12-0 run with a minute
Oh,
30. Like they
right.
went 12 straight with it was the fastest run I've ever seen before. It
Oh,
was so
wow.
they spurted
You
on
know,
them and
I was thinking that 4 minutes ago. I said 12 point ain't nothing in the NBA, and then about 2 minutes ago, I'm like, well, it's not gonna happen. Let me turn on
right,
my little
no,
my little
they
special
went
TV set.
crazy. Yeah, they went crazy.
Oh
But it's
wow.
still the series is over. But what we take from it is Timberwolves have a bright future as long as they center it around Ant Man. We're gonna see how far the Nuggets go if they can finally get to the finals this year.
I think they should sell off Towns and Gobert, even if they sell it at a
Yep,
loss. Right.
yep, I agree. I agree.
I mean,
I'm
there's
right there
times,
with
right? I could buy a $500,000 house that's only worth 300K, right? And it's
you.
like, yeah, I don't want to take the 200K loss, but for my future and for my life, it's better. Just take the
Ship them
loss
to
and
ship.
move
Hey,
on.
look, ship them to the Hawks. Get
Yeah,
Capella and Bogdanovich. You
yeah.
know, and there you go. Let's go. You know, ship them to the Hawks. Get rid of them.
All right, let's move into tonight. We have some interesting matchups. First one is the Lakers. Or no, Bucks are playing the Heat. Man, this has been a crazy series. I mean, this one has been the epitome of the make or miss from three. Each team has just shown out from beyond the 3-point line in each
Yeah.
win. The Heat got the easy win in Game 3. Giannis sat. I'm seeing Giannis is probable for tonight. We'll go ahead and cap it with him in there because that's what this line says to me, with the Bucks being favored by 7.5. But it is do or die for them tonight. What do you think here as the Bucks are -7.5 in Miami?
I'm going with the Heat with those amount of points at home. I just think the Heat have too much pride, too good of an organization. Like you said, they both are 3-point shooting teams. They both have a style that's uh, built around the three ball. So when you're at home, I trust the home team to make more threes because you're at home. You're in a familiar building, and you're at your familiar rims. And I think that Miami knows how big that this game is. And if they get this game and put some more pressure on the one seed, as I was telling you, things are setting up really nicely for the Sixers who are at home chilling right now.
All right. Let's talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, who are -4.5 against the Grizzlies. I know the Grizzlies didn't look good in that last game. I'm not ready to write them off. I think they're live tonight as a money line dog at +133. Now, I haven't bet it yet, but I'm just saying the Grizzlies came out really bad in that Game 3. People just acting like the Lakers have won the series. I don't think that's the case. If you think about it, if the Grizzlies win tonight, they head home 2-2 with home court advantage, right? I don't
Yeah.
think the series is over yet. I haven't bet it yet either, though. What are your thoughts on this one?
Grizzlies need Steven Adams. I don't. They're not the Grizzlies that we know a dominant team without Steven Adams. Steven Adams is huge to everything that they do. I know that Xavier Tillman had that game, but that's what makes the difference between an all-star like Steven Adams, who does it every night, to a guy like Xavier Tillman, who's a reserve, who can only do it once every 2 weeks. And I think until they get him back, they're not going to be able to deal with Anthony Davis and those guys down low because now you have to sacrifice Jaren Jackson. You have to let Jaren Jackson play Anthony Davis, so he's going to go crazy on him. You know what I mean? So I just think LeBron and AD just a little bit too strong for Memphis. They're making Memphis, if you look at the game when they match up and play now, they making them look like little kids. If you know, it's just like grown men against little boys. You know, the size and everything. So I know Ja's competitive and everything, but I think that the Lakers have taken the Grizzlies hard. So even if the Grizzlies win tonight, I don't think they win the series. I think the Lakers are going to win the series, man. I just think that Steven Adams is a big factor, and the Grizzlies really need him. And I don't think Ja is mature enough, either physically or mentally, to be able to lead this team against a guy that he looked up to in LeBron, and he's too cool with, and still kind of looks at him as an idol, you know. So I like the Lakers. I think the Lakers have their number, and Dylan Brooks isn't helping by motivating LeBron by calling him old. So the guys for the Lakers are playing really good. And if you look at the rosters, man, right now the Lakers just have a better team than them. The Lakers have a really sound roster. So I don't know about tonight what happens. I don't think that they're live. I think the Lakers win, but I don't
Okay.
know if they cover. You know, I don't know if they cover, but I do like the Lakers to win the series.
I do like talking these things out. That's why I haven't placed that bet
Yeah,
yet.
yeah,
I heard a lot of media this weekend with people already advancing the Lakers, and I was like, not so fast, you know. I mean, I know
yeah.
I know they played bad last game, but you know, you go home 2-2, anything can happen. I don't
But
necessarily
this
think
the
they
problem
can.
with Memphis is this. Okay, Josh not himself, even though he went crazy last game. I watched him roll off. He scored 25 points straight or something. It was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's
So
ridiculous. Yeah,
he's getting his feel back. But what does he really have with him? Desmond Bain looks like he doesn't want any part of the spotlight. We know Dylan Brooks thinks he's ready for the spotlight, but he isn't. He's garbage when it comes to offense. He just is a Draymond Green on the wing without the passing ability. Without the brains. He
great
just
value,
shoots a
Dre.
yeah, yeah, man. Great
Just a
value,
discount.
Dre. The discount, but he doesn't bring
Discount,
anything. But
Dre.
the only thing that Dylan Brooks does is irritate other players. Like he has
Yeah,
no benefit. If I was the Grizzlies, I would have given him a quarter. He can't score worth anything. I don't know. He's not a good player. But I just think the Lakers are in their head now, and the Grizz are saying all this stuff and doing all these things because actually the Lakers have their number and are in their head.
yeah, that's probably true. The ball and parlay. Let's get into it. What do you got for us tonight?
Hey man, we got an easy one. We're going with the Texas Rangers. The numbers is -120. I don't know why it's that number. The pitcher for the Rangers, Nathan Eovaldi, is 1-0 with a 0.60 ERA in his meetings against the Reds. The Rangers have won 10 of their last 13 games. They're leading the division. My Astros are in right now. We're right on their tail, but the Rangers are playing really good baseball, and they know that Cincinnati's not a good team. Cincinnati lost 7 straight on one of the worst losing streaks that we've had in Major League Baseball. They do have a pretty good pitcher coming up in Ladola, but I just like the Rangers bats, man. I like the things that they're doing right now in their clubhouse, and as I said, with my Astros right on their tail, and the Astros are defending world champions and pretty much a shoe-in for the playoffs every year. The Rangers know in order to compete in their division and in Texas, they're going to have to win games. They can't take any games off, so I don't expect them to give the Reds a freebie right here. So we're going with the Texas Rangers. List the pitcher, Nathan Eovaldi, please. Do not play it without listing the pitcher. So Texas Rangers money line -120 at Cincinnati's to play.
All right, I just put that bet in. Probably about a 5% chance I even check the score. I'll just
It'll be in your account. It'll be
All
there.
right, yeah, that's how I do. That's how I do baseball in USFL, right?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is nice to see. All right, I know I told you that I don't necessarily think the series is over. However, I do think Anthony Davis has a big night. You talked about how the Grizzlies need to put Jaren Jackson on him, and that's their big dilemma because they also need Jaren Jackson to stay out of foul trouble. So what have they been doing? They've kind of been keeping Jaren Jackson away from him, and why not, right? Because the last thing you need is for him to get 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes of the game. That's led to more minutes for Xavier Tillman, and then they can put Jaren Jackson as more of the roamer and the help guy and try and keep him out of foul trouble. It's a huge matchup for Anthony Davis. He went for 31 and 17 in that Game 3 win, and I don't think they're going to put Jackson on him unless they absolutely need to, which means that while Jackson might be on him with the game in the line, AD will be already over this point prop as he's able to rack up points and assists, rebounds early in the game going against a weaker defender. So I like Anthony Davis over 23.5 points.
All right, you got it there. So spread's going with AD over 23.5, which I could see very easily happening. I'm going with the Texas Rangers money line at Cincinnati tonight. Hey guys, we'll be back with you guys tomorrow with the new Wagering World Daily. We got some couple guests coming in this week to talk some shop. Best of luck to you all. We'll talk to you tomorrow.